Hello guys, I hope everyone's okay. So I've had a couple of comments asking if I do like a little tutorial on how I scratch. So here it goes. I've never done anything like this before, so apologies if I'm sort of talking a load of rubbish, but I'll try and explain it the best way I can. So basically the turning point in when I was scratching was when I learned chirps. If you don't know how to do a chirp, I'll teach you now. So basically, when you first learn to scratch, this is what I did anyway. It's a lot of cuts and baby scratches, and maybe you know how to do the crab, so which is all good. But for me, if you're doing fast hardcore scratching, it's quite, there's a lot of this going on, and it just sounds messy and yeah, just a little bit amateur, I think. So when you learn how to do the chirps, it'll be a lot cleaner and a lot tighter, I promise. Basically, when you're doing cuts and crabs even, it's a lot of you're going the same way with your hands. If you think you're sort of scratching like this, with the chirps, it's kind of relearning how to scratch because you're going opposites. I'll show you what I mean. So basically with a chirp, you are cutting the sound, the sample off at the end. So you're cutting it and then bringing it back again. So if you think of your hands going opposites like this, that's exactly what the chirp is. And once you've learned how to do this, I promise your scratching will be a lot tighter. So my pattern is, my scratches are basically chirps with little baby scratches and scribbles added in the middle. So I'll show you an example. So that is basically just a baby scratch with a chirp on the inside, which is a decent one to learn at the beginning. So yeah, all you're doing is baby scratch, chirp at the end. Another load of patterns I do is basically chirps but at different speeds. So it'll be but notice my hands, how they're always going in opposites with the crossfader. Sometimes it'll be left in the middle to do a baby scratch, but it'll always be opposite. So I'll put on some music as well, just to give you an example of how I scratch with music, and then we'll try and break some of that stuff down. So already I can see I'm doing a few more patterns there. So that's a good way of breaking up your chirp. So if you've got some sort of, well, so basically that is just a chirp at the beginning with a longer pullback. So and the other pattern was, so in slow it's basically, but fast over hardcore music it's, and then full speed. And basically it might not be the same for everyone, but my crossfader is basically my thumb and middle finger. So as I'm pushing forwards with the record, I'm pushing forward with my thumb, and then as I'm bringing it back, I'm bringing it back with this finger. So any forwards and backwards movements with the record, I am just replicating with my fingers, I suppose. So what else? Let's play a bit more music and I'll see if there's any other bits I can break down. I suppose the other thing I can say is it's basically just learning chirps and doing them at different speeds. And what else? Yeah, I suppose if you just spend a lot of time just getting that chirp right, then add, so my advice would be to learn chirps first, just spend ages getting that right, getting that bite right, then add so it's basically and you can just practice that and obviously speed up with it. Then you can add patterns off that. So and chirps you can do to sort of all speeds of music. Obviously I like hardcore music, so it's quite fast, but let me slow this down to sort of, let's try 160. And all the patterns I've done there, I've sort of broke down already, so it's just with a few. And then you can just sort of randomize the speed of the record with the chirp to sort of make its own pattern in between. So so all together, let's try again. I don't know if actually if I've not broke that down, but that's basically. So basically that starts as a sort of cut, so I've not actually broke this down before, I only normally do it normal speed, so let's get it back up to full speed again. 178 is about hardcore speed. So you've, or you can cut it, so yeah, it's basically, I don't have that many patterns I do, but I mix them up in between each other, so and I hope that you can see my hands, sort of the way they are moving with the crossfader. Yeah, if I was, so it's kind of hard to show you all the patterns I do, but I hope I'm making sense to you. But yeah, my sort of main thing that I'd want you to try and learn if you don't know how to do a chirp already is the chirp. So once you've got that, add, then sort of do it with added other patterns. So what else do I do? So just different speeds of chirps. And yeah, I hope you've learned something watching the video. Obviously, if you've got any questions, drop a comment in the bottom, and I hope that makes sense. Take care.